What is up, guys? Back like we never left. This is Alex from Double Move Sports, and you're watching the Fantasy Film Room. After a hiatus of breaking down game film with you guys, we are back getting into the truth of the tape, putting together takes based on analytics and game film to help you win fantasy football titles. For those of you that are new to the channel, the Film Room started in 2019, where we would break down a player's film for one specific game and look at their usage and ability to see what it tells us about their rest of season outlook. This year, we've already broken down Kenyon Drake and Tyler Higbee, and we have many more to come. So if you haven't checked those out, be sure to do so. Also, if you're new, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more fantasy football content. Now let's jump into it. The running back position is consistently the toughest place to find depth in fantasy football leagues. Hitting on a sleeper running back is the easiest way to take a team to the next level when competing for that coveted fantasy football title. Think about names like Austin Eckler, James Conner, and Kareem Hunt from the past few seasons. Those are guys you picked up in the middle or late in your drafts that led you to the ship. This year, there is a sleeper running back that stands out to me as a league-winning pick, and it is Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones was left for dead after a brutal rookie season, and regardless of being the most improved running back in the NFL last year, he is still not getting the respect he deserves. Last year, he finished as the running back 25 in full PPR formats, and he's currently being drafted as the running back 31 despite improvements to his situation that we'll talk about a little bit later on. So here we're going to see just how much Rojo improved last season in every single category. He not only saw a huge jump in usage with 149 more carries than his rookie year, but also a huge jump in efficiency, going from a brutal 1.9 yards per carry to 4.2. When watching and breaking down the film, it is easy to see that Rojo has what it takes to take another step to the next level. So this first play we are going to look at is one of the many jaw-dropping plays Ronald Jones made in the 2019 season. It looks like a great run at surface level, but it becomes even more impressive when we look at the effort required by Rojo to make it happen. Now, when Jones gets this handoff, first of all, the center is getting absolutely manhandled, blocking the intended hole on the play. Regardless, it does look like an opening forms in the middle of the field, but it is quickly cut off by two penetrating weak side defenders. Now, most running backs would have seen a loss of yardage on this play, but Jones is able to use a quick lateral sidestep to break away into open space, salvaging any potential loss. When Jones breaks into the open space, there are still some issues. The first one is the blocker literally laying on the ground. The second is that there's not one, but two defenders for Jones to beat in the open field. We then see Jones plant his left foot here on a juke move and get straight upfield, breaking the ankles of both defenders in the process and allowing Jones to pick up a huge gain. Ronald Jones seemed like he was an unwatched highlight reel in 2019, consistently ripping off big plays. Jones had more runs of 20 or more yards than Todd Gurley, Aaron Jones, or Zeke, despite having at least 50 fewer carries than each one of those guys. He is also underappreciated for his tackle breaking ability because Rojo was fourth in the NFL last season in attempts per broken tackle, behind only Alvin Kamara, Damian Williams, and Aaron Jones. The film also shows us just how good Ronald Jones can be on the goal line. The thing that stood out to me while watching Rojo's tape is that this dude never goes down easily. This play we are going to break down in the red zone is one of my favorites from his 2019 tape. So on this play, we see that the Bucs are running a heavy formation with two tight ends and two wide receivers on the field. As expected, they are facing a stacked box, and there is nowhere for Jones to go when he gets this handoff. So I'm going to freeze this clip and take a quick look at what Ronald Jones was looking at here. And as you can see, there is nothing but a wall of bodies in front of him, but Jones is able to use his ball carrier vision to see the one and only escape. The problem is a Panthers defender has plugged the hole just like you would draw it up on the defensive side of the ball. And knowing that Jones has one guy to beat here, let's take a look at our other view and watch the magic happen. Jones is able to shake the defender and finishes with power for a touchdown. So let's take a quick look at the full run here by Ronald Jones. Incredible. Jones has the perfect blend of power, speed, and agility, and he was elite near the goal line last season. He scored 6 touchdowns on 10 carries inside the 10-yard line, which was the best touchdown rate of all running backs with at least 10 attempts inside the 10. With 154 carries and 6 touchdowns vacated by the departure of Peyton Barber and the addition of Hall of Fame quarterback Tom Brady, double-digit touchdowns is very reasonable for Jones in 2020. Now, one of the biggest knocks on Jones is the addition of third-round running back Keyshawn Vaughn and Rojo's lack of usage in the passing game. But the tape tells us that Jones was actually trusted as a pass catcher in 2019. Jones was effective in the screen game and as a safety valve. No, he wasn't perfect, but he did show time and time again just how dangerous he can be with the ball in open space. On multiple occasions, we saw Bruce Arians draw up swing screens for Ronald Jones. On this play here, the Bucs are in the shotgun with 3 wide receivers split out to the right. We see Jameis Winston hit Jones here on the swing pass, and all 3 receivers block downfield. This is a designed screen to get Jones the ball in open space, and we saw it repeatedly in 2019. We then see Jones catch the screen pass and make the most of the open space he has for a first down on the play. Here is another example of the same exact play. They are in the shotgun on a 3rd and long with Jones in the backfield and 3 receivers out to the left. Winston hits Jones here on the swing screen, and all 3 receivers block down the field. Jones makes a play here and not only picks up the first down, but almost gets into the end zone as well. With Tom Brady at quarterback, I expect plenty of receiving work for Jones. Brady has targeted the running back position at least 130 times in each of the past 5 seasons, and although Dare Ogunbowale and Keyshawn Vaughn will be involved, there should still be plenty of opportunity for Ronald Jones in the passing game. While Keyshawn Vaughn will get work in this backfield, there is no reason to believe he will take over as the lead back. He was a 3rd-round pick for a team that needed depth at the position. He's inferior to Jones on the goal line, doesn't have NFL experience, and is not a tier above Jones in terms of pass catching. While I expect Vaughn to carve out a role for himself on this offense, I actually expect Ronald Jones to be the unquestioned starter with a chance at over 200 carries and double-digit touchdowns in 2020. As the 31st running back off the board in fantasy football drafts right now, he is an absolute steal in fantasy football this season and just might win you your league if you take him on draft day. So again, thank you for watching. If you did like the show, please hit that subscribe button below. That is huge for us. A like is always appreciated as well. And if you have start-sit questions, dynasty questions, draft questions, drop it in the comments below or hit us up on Twitter at DoubleMoveSport. And we will see you next time. Peace.